Nurse. If you have a question, go ahead and hit the raise hand feature. We'll get you unmuted and called on. We'll start here with Alex Simon with the next, followed by Jeff Metcalf.
Hi, Kia. Obviously, to lose a game is never a fun thing, but to do it with 7 and to fight back from being down at 18 at one point and to be within a possession, what positives can you guys kind of take away from your effort today?
Well, I think you mentioned it there, our resilience, and we went down and we found our way to fight. We found a way to fight back, and I think that's big for us. I think anytime you're a team that's going to continue to play against really good players every single day, you have to understand that basketball is a game of runs, and each team's going to go on theirs. It's how you respond to that. I think we did a really good job today of being resilient, of figuring out what to do when we only had 7 people available, and continuing to fight for one another and playing together.
You said the shots are going to fall, but obviously it can't, you've also said it can get in your head a little when they don't fall. So to see them falling the way they did, set a career high in threes, pick up the scoring when it was really needed today. Just for you personally, how does a day like this kind of feel that way?
Well, obviously stats don't matter when you lose, but at the same time, it was, good to see some shots go down. I was more worried about my footwork today than I was about the shot, and that's probably what kind of changed it a little bit. It's a good game to have, definitely going, heading to Tokyo tomorrow morning and getting to meet with the national team and starting up that preparation for the Olympics with them. And obviously, if I can keep it rolling, then you kind of just get back in the groove of how, I've been playing before. Obviously, I had struggled this season, but get back into a groove and play well.
All right, next up we have Jeff Metcalf, Arizona Republic, followed by Danny Thompson.
You've stayed really confident, at least, what you've said to us about your shooting, that was going to come around. And then you were just talking about your footwork there. What do you do all this time kind of behind the scenes to make that confidence pay off for you like it did tonight?
I mean, you just got to keep shooting, and you got to go into practice every single day and every single game thinking that they're going to fall. And half the battle with shooting a lot of times is just thinking that it's going to go in. And so it was figuring out which footwork was working better for me. And tonight I just focused on, if you got 2 feet set, and instead of a little jump hop, it was probably going in and having that power behind it. So a lot of it is just watching film and seeing, last game, the 2 that I hit in transition, that footwork worked. And so I just went to that today, and it's just staying confident, keep shooting it, because you don't forget how to shoot. You just got to remind yourself what works and what doesn't.
Also, to finish 2-1 in some of these circumstances you've had here and the teams you were playing, how much does that sort of position this team confidence-wise and just even in the standings for the post-Olympic period?
Well, I think we know that, coming into the second half of the season, if we continue to play well, we continue to do the things that helped us be successful in this last little stretch of games, then we'll be a tough team to beat. And so anytime you have the opportunity to continue to play this game and know there's a lot of season left technically after that Olympic break, it's going into, wherever everyone's going, whether that's being the Olympics or going home or taking a break away from the game and being ready to come back and play and fight in this league that we know day in and day out is hard. But, we've got some teams in that second half we haven't seen yet. And if we can continue to play really well, I think we put ourselves in a pretty good position for that postseason run.
All right, we do only have time for one more question. Next up is Danny Thompson, 3-point conversion.
Yeah, Danny Thompson with a 3-point conversion. Great to see you as always. As you head into Tokyo, I know you said it wasn't exactly the way you wanted to finish in the win column wise, but as far as you scoring the 28 points, I know you have been some kind of a little bit of a shooting slump going into today. How important is it for you to kind of snap out of it a bit as you get a chance to help your country win a medal in Tokyo?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to kind of feel good about the way that your shot looks and feel good about a game that you played going into, obviously, a pretty big situation with the Olympics and in a pressure-filled situation especially. I play a very different role on that team than I do here. So I think for me personally, just being able to kind of feel my game back to, the way that I like it to feel, that's big moving forward. Obviously, we get 2 weeks before we actually start games at the Olympics. We'll have some prelim games, but continuing to get better every day. I think if the more you play and the more you find your confidence in your game, the better it just gets.
All right, thanks for the time, Kia. Okay, so that will conclude our media event for the day.